He picked up the hammer and smashed the man's kneecap, and then he hung it up with a steel wire. His feet just fell to the ground, but he kept shaking and crushing his knees. He closed the door and he sat quietly on the sofa. The scum of the scum seems to be the oldest creature in the world. He closed his eyes and he experienced it in detail. These are far from enough to face the devil who killed his daughter. Think about the miserable state of his daughter. The man collapsed again at the age of 8, and he would have a hard time. The blood of the family even made him doubt his life. After the death of his daughter, his wife was depressed and his family was not in harmony. Instead, the beast was always smiling. He killed 3 children and was sentenced to only 10 years. Since the law could not give me justice, I became justice. He hid his wife from the door and drove around the suburbs. A wooden house in the woods was right in front of him. It was where he needed it. He broke the glass and broke in. He rented this place for $10,000 a day. The price was so high that the landlord wouldn't say anything. He got the landlord and he started the next plan. I found a mess and I got a car, and I don't know how he got the medicine from the driver, and he fainted on the way. The man took the opportunity to go up and take out his medical certificate, but when the police thought he was going to die, he drove the car away. In a remote corner, he drove the criminal out of the house and put on the stolen car and sent the scum to the small house. Knowing that the girl's father had kidnapped the criminal, the local police were shocked, but in the face of such a behavior, the wife was confused. The man used a steel bar to lift the scum and push it to the operating table and tie it up. When the scum woke up, he was in a panic. The man looked at him coldly. Unconcerned, the man picked up the hammer and hit it against his knee. The intense pain made the scum almost lose his voice, but the man was so calm that he knew it wasn't enough. He leisurely watched the scum jump. Every time he touched the ground with his legs, the scum would be in pain, but the man enjoyed the feeling. The next day, he was scolded by a bucket of hot urine, and the man fought back. "You're all going to jail, I can." The third day of revenge, he again hung up the beast, but no matter how he forced to ask, the scum refused to admit his guilt. He pushed the scum and then raised the gun. The man's eyes were full of hatred and he wanted to kill him now, but compared to the suffering of his daughter, it was not easy to knock him down. The beast was terrified and even lost his temper on the spot, and the man who had calmed down was still trembling. He crossed over the scum and carefully moved his hands and arms. As a doctor, he knew the importance of disinfection. The beast was really scared and trembling. To admit everything, he kept apologizing to the man, but the man was cold-blooded. Once again, the scum was hung up, and the man picked up the iron chain with the hatred in his heart. He was very cold and warmed up. His ribs were instantly broken, and the scum was in pain. Once again, the beast was almost dead. After a series of beatings, the scum had no reaction, and the man calmed down after the madness. He rested for a night, and the scum hadn't woken up yet. In order to prevent this guy from dying, the man checked his body and gave him a leaf. After all, he had to let the scum live for a few days. Remember to call the phone to scold the man as a madman, and in his eyes, these are what he has to do as a father. This time, he turned on the operating light to prepare for the beast's surgery. This guy didn't live up to his expectations and even lost his voice. The man lifted the drug and showed it to the man. This drug can numb the nerves but not lose control. Simply put, the scum can't resist but can clearly feel every pain. Haha. With the introduction of the drug, the scum seemed to have become dead. In order to prevent him from suddenly dying, the man put a respirator on him and took a picture of his daughter. He wanted his daughter to witness everything. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Your support means everything and helps the channel grow. Let's hit that next milestone together.